Oh my God, I just wanted to take out pay my mortgage. I can't believe I'm gonna die in this bank. How embarrassing.
What do you think they want? What are they? Quiet! With this bomb, I shall cleanse faith and restore man back to its organic nature.
What the fuck? Oh God, I don't want to die from some fucking crazy, I don't even know. What the fuck do you believe in? Wait, what's that over there? Oh.
It's Wonder Woman! Wonder Woman! Wonder Woman, help this villain!
Come over here!
He's gonna kill us! His motivation makes no sense!
She's... okay.
Hurry!
She's... it seems like she should be moving fast, but it's like...
she's moving really slow, right?
Yeah. Wonder Woman, hurry up! The bomb is ticking down!
It's ticking! There's like 12 seconds left!
Okay, wait! Oh, she's looking at it!
This on purpose.
Why are you looking at it?
Is she like trolling us?
Oh!
Sorry. I got here as fast as I could.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 173 of Comic Book Queers Legacy. Hi, everyone. My name is Brett. I am one of your two hosts. Your two of two hosts is this one, EvilJeff, the one who's about to speak right now.
Hello.
Hello. How are you, my dear-o?
I'm great. I have
good.
I have opinions and I have raves and rants to get off my chest today.
Yes. I have a lot of opinions about TV, the art of TV. How about you?
I do too.
Good. I'm glad you were being specific about that category.
And I think we have so much stuff to talk about TV. We don't have time for X-Men today. I am sorry.
Or comics.
We don't have time for comics because we have...
Or Hot Topics.
Or Hot Topics. Because the Hot Topic is... we had the premiere of probably one of the biggest DC and a huge Marvel show. Premiered at the same time. And we're going to fucking talk about it.
Welcome to our Marvel vs. DC TV episode.
Yeah, cue some boxing music.
Yeah, not that we want to contribute to the narrative of Marvel versus DC. I've seen some people on Twitter saying, everyone needs to chill comparing Marvel and DC. No, we don't. Because that's what we've been doing since Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
That's the game.
And trust me, you have to realize, Brett and I, we are not like, oh, DC is always awful and Marvel is always great.
Ooh, we hate it.
We love
no,
Titans.
Not like that.
We love Doom Patrol. We love Harley Quinn. Things on HBO Max, the DC stuff on HBO Max that is DC, for the most part, is great.
Great.
Now, so we're going to start with Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, I want to tell you something, Brett.
Tell me.
I am a scientist, and
I
I decided to, if I'm going to watch something for 4 hours, I'm going to go all in because I know this is going to be bad. So rather than just watch something bad for 4 hours, I actually decided to side by side watch Justice League, Zack Snyder's version, and Joss Whedon's version at the same time because why? I hunger for knowledge and I want answers.
You turned it into an experiment, like a true scientist.
Yeah, so as this Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League is 4 hours long. 4 hours long. And it
didn't need to be.
It's split up into chapters. And so as every time a chapter ended, me and my boyfriend turned it off, switched over to Joss Whedon's Justice League.
Amazing.
And then when we hit a scene that kind of hadn't happened yet, we would stop and then go back. So I just kept going back and forth.
That's your method.
So I was seeing scene right after scene happen and just seeing how the editing, the music, the color, and the line dialogue changes or the beard effects affected the plot. And
I am so looking forward to this insight that you're going to provide.
And here is my ultimate conclusion. It's because I think it's too complicated for us to do a 1, 2, 3 like it. I just want to get first of all, what we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and either do Whedon or Snyder?
Okay.
Of which one do you thought was better?
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Neither.
Yo, neither. Okay, thank you.
And
if I had to choose.
And here is my issue with that is I do think Zack Snyder improved many things, but he also took out everything that Whedon did, and Whedon put in a lot of things that were problematic with Zack Snyder's version. And
like what?
Something called character development. And here's my main issue is Zack Snyder is a cinematographer.
Yes.
Zack Snyder can create a mood. He's amazing at creating a mood. The only Zack Snyder movie that I like is Watchmen because he literally just did the comic book. So the plot and pacing and everything was already decided for him. So he was just like, I just need to make this look pretty. And he did. And I liked it. This Justice League, it's gorgeous. It looks pretty. No character development. All the dialogue is hampered down. And the thing that Joss Whedon changed is he put realistic dialogue. He put character development. He put he gave the why. Why are they doing this? Oh, okay. Joss Whedon put in the why. And those things were good. I will say Joss Whedon, I am very much questioning, though, how much of the changes are because of Joss Whedon or how much of it was Warner Brothers being like, this is all about Cyborg. Fuck Cyborg. Make it about Batman and Wonder Woman and Superman. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know how much of that was a decision by Joss Whedon or when Warner Brothers hired him being like, this is a mess. Can you please make this about Batman and fucking Wonder Woman and Superman?
Yeah. It was definitely the source of Ray Fisher, the actor who plays Cyborg's tension with Joss Whedon. Excuse me. Not the source. It seems like Joss Whedon was the source, but I think underneath that was an inherent mission that he was hired for, which is less Cyborg, more Trinity.
Yes, and I think
as an actor thinking you're central to this movie and watching your role get chipped away and your purpose get chipped away,
you'd be
that's got to be the fucking worst.
Yes, and I think it is because I think Whedon and Warner Brothers got together and they're like, we're hiring you because we want you to make this more like the Avengers. And the Justice League was trying to make this the Avengers. Here's the problem, though, is like Joss Whedon, and this is the issue, is rather than they should never have hired Joss Whedon, and here's why. They maybe could have Joss Whedon was like, I want this to be a Joss Whedon movie. And then when Zack Snyder took back over, he's like, I'm getting rid of this because this is a Zack Snyder movie. And no one ever cared about let's just make this a good movie. Get your fucking ego out the door.
Nobody asked, how do you make a good movie?
Yeah, because honestly, my problem is I would watch scene by scene and it would be it's like I should have I didn't take a cat tally, but literally we were like, oh, Joss Whedon did that way better. But then we watch another one, we're like, oh, Snyder did that better. It was kind of crazy.
Here's my conclusion. Yeah. You're talking about two egomaniacs.
Exactly.
Who needed for it to be don't you see? It's my coup de grace. It's my ultimate creation. This is the most me thing ever.
No, then fucking do Nomadland. Fucking do Mank. Do one of those fucking movies. This is a fucking superhero movie. It's made by consensus, and whether you like it or not.
Yeah. You said Zack Snyder is like a mood, and I agree with that. I will home in on what that mood is. It's glorification. It's deification. It's making something seem and feel glorious and magnificent and bigger than life, which is why he's good for something like the Justice League. But it ends there.
But here's the other problem. But guess what?
Yeah.
If you make every fucking second of your movie epic, nothing is epic.
So let's talk about the fact that the reason this movie is 4 goddamn hours long is because 80% of it is in slow motion.
Yes. And this is where my base thing, honestly, if you took the first half of Joss Whedon's movie and the second half of Snyder's movie, I think this could have been a good movie.
Oh,
because
see that if only Xavier and Magneto would combine.
Yes, because honestly, the main problem I have with Zack Snyder, it took forever to get to it. It was just all of these character origin stories. And I was like, these could have been released as like before the movie. Like, I'm just trying to think, if you had to still make this a movie, you could have released these little shorts introducing each character and then just started the movie. You know what I mean?
Zack Snyder, when it comes to character development and relationship development and growth, he feels like a student in college who's like, why did I get a C on my paper? It's 200 pages long. Yeah, just because it's 200 pages long doesn't mean it's good. What do you mean? It's thorough. It's detailed. I put so much work into it. It deserves an A. It's so big. But good doesn't equal long when it comes to... It's like you compensated for a lack of quality in building those human elements with quantity. And you keep trying and trying and trying to make these characters feel like people, and they never do. I don't care what sappy song you play and how slow your motion is and how many little moments you give these people, never once do you care about them.
And I will say, in the beginning, this is where you see Whedon being superior to Snyder, because Whedon was like, I'm changing the dialogue and showing you who this character is, and then we're out. And the song choices were less on the nose. Like Aquaman is like walking, and it's like slow motion of him going back into the ocean. They're playing some song with King in the title. I'm like, stop it. It's so on the nose.
Oh, yeah, in Snyder's, right?
Yes.
Yes, the word is spoon-fed. It is so spoon-fed to you. It's like it was made by people who don't know that subtext is a thing.
Exactly. We're not that dumb. And but then when I watched the Snyder versions of these things, it all was just snappier and quicker. But here's where I will say...
You mean
the Whedon one, yeah. It was like snappier, quicker. I will say the one exception is what happened on... what I always want to say... Minuscura.
The mascara?
The mascara?
Oh, you can't say that. The mascara. It does sound like the mascara.
That one lengthened. I just enjoyed that because I felt that was like a really fun battle scene.
The game of keep away?
Yeah, and when I watched the Whedon one, it's good, but he just cut half of it down. And I think honestly it was like Zack Snyder is like, this is what I wanted. If you originally were making this movie, they would have never let you this be fucking 4 hours.
Never.
It like you would have had to cut the shit.
But there was nowhere in the middle to end it.
Yeah, you would have had to, and that's my other issue, is something called a 3-act structure.
Yes, thank you.
There is no 3-act structure.
The chapter demarcations make zero sense.
None.
There's no contained story arc inside each chapter, which is poor storytelling.
Yeah. But here's on the side of Snyder, the bad guy. What's his name with the horns? Steppenwolf. Great theater in Chicago.
Oh my God, Laurie Metcalf, Gary Sinise, John Malkovich, Zack from Frasier.
Wait, what's the girl, the blonde woman from Goonies who's in it too? Martha Plimpton.
Her. Yes.
Anyway, the Snyder version of that looks way better. I will say the CGI.
Definitely.
He looks way better. The Whedon one, when it went back to the Whedon one, I was like, ooh.
And I guess he had more of a explanation and purpose in the Snyder one, but that also was stupid. So he just basically was obsessed with his uncle. Okay.
But here's the other thing is what happened is in the Snyder one, it kind of shows you that when Superman died, it caused all of the boxes to awaken.
Yeah, I did.
And that is just taken out of the Whedon one. So the boxes are just like, oh, they're waking up. And there's no context of why. So I do like that too. And so that's my thing is I keep going back and forth of being like, Snyder did this better. Whedon did this better. But in the end, it all still adds up to
Heartless, yeah. And taking itself way too seriously. I think that's ultimately what Whedon did. Like, he came in and was like, wow, you sure are taking yourself seriously. Like, we need to make this more like feel like people.
Because how does Whedon's open up? It opens up with the badly CGI out his beard of Superman and a kid interviewing Superman on his phone. I mean, like, you saved us. And then it just cuts to all of these shots of like, this is the world without Superman. Oh, the world is falling apart. Everyone hates each other. Oh, and no one, there's wars. There's no one to, oh, look, that man's throwing over a thing of fruit at a grocery store because there's chaos in New York. Like, it's just it's like he's trying to set up like this overarching theme, and Snyder is just like, no, this is just like superhero origin stories. And that's the thing, is like I understand what Whedon was doing, but it's just that is kind of spoon-fed and stupid. And I do think just like him choosing to put that in with like reshooting with Superman's beard CGI'd off, we're just not there yet in CGI. It's just too
ambitious. But
it just, you can tell. And so it just takes you completely out of it. That leads me to the other thing of why they resurrect Superman.
We need to talk about this. There's a whole Superman path we need to go down.
Whedon really adds like a bunch of scenes where it's basically Aquaman and Wonder Woman versus Batman of like trying.
And Batman's like, you're gonna fucking do it.
Yeah, and she's like, we can't. Snyder just glosses like, we're going to resurrect Superman.
They all just kind of like look at each other, and it's like, okay, we're gonna do it.
And I will say those scenes, Snyder loves to do scenes of like when they're telling a story, they suddenly are like in that Matrix like testing zone where they're there and then everything's happening around them while they're like describing it. And then in Whedon, he just reshoots the scenes where they're just like talking and they say the same thing in 30 seconds and then add a joke. Yeah. And so it literally, I feel
there
like
it is right there.
It's literally like that is the difference between these two directors.
There it is right there.
And I will say Whedon's made much more sense. Snyder was like just doing these long drawn out things. But here is the next thing I want to bring up of then where Snyder is better. How they resurrected Superman. It brought up that the Flash, if he goes this fast and adds the power, it will fuck with time.
Oh, that's not in Whedon?
And where it go? No, none of the time stuff is in Whedon. In the future, where Zack, where the Flash, what's his name, Barry, basically saves everyone by reversing time. He is just saving the family that's added, and help and like pushing their car to safety.
Oh. Here he's saving the world.
Yeah, like I don't know if you remember in the very end where that dome happened, there's like a Russian family stuck in the dome trying to escape.
I remember that.
Like all added by Whedon, and it's so stupid. Oh my god, it's so dumb. But anyway, did you have a thing to say about the resurrection, Superman's resurrection?
Yeah, it is about the nonsense of him turning evil or not. First of all, why? And I don't want to hear because Lois died. Like, what's behind that? Why is this character so oddly emotionally fragile that there's always this danger that he's going to appear evil? Like when he's resurrected and he's evil, why? And then he snaps out of it. Okay, is there a lingering effect that there's an evil Superman in there and it's going to get triggered again? Why?
Yeah.
Is he brainwashed? What?
But that's the thing. Do you know who does explain it?
Who?
Joss Whedon. There's lines added where as they're looking, they're like, he doesn't know who he is. Oh my God, he's confused. He's not remembering. And they keep pushing like, oh shit, he's confused. He doesn't remember. Snyder has like none of that.
But also, like, why would he snap and become a brutal murderer serving Darkseid afterlife. It just doesn't make any sense.
Are
it's
you
like
talking
this
about? Wait, are you talking about like
thing.
at the end?
I'm talking about, yes, in
What's leading to
particular.
the end?
Like when they're resurrecting him, the ship's like, don't do it. And then he goes to the field and like everything's fine. I just don't understand.
And then he has,
why
and then he has the vision of. Well, I think that's explained at the very end. I honestly feel it's injustice. This is all leading to injustice, which they're saying because I think Lois Lane gets killed by the Joker, and it turns Superman evil.
Again, I get all of this, but why does it turn Superman evil? I'm gonna let this go.
Well, I will say did you read Injustice? How did it? Why did he really end up going evil in Injustice?
I have no idea.
I think in the end, it's like he gets so mad that he's like, "Oh, you're all stupid. You're stupid wars. I'm taking over. I'm just going to take over everything and fix everything."
Okay. I should read Injustice before.
But I will say, but you are right. None of that is insinuated in any of Snyder's shit. And I will say,
everything that is so spoon-fed, it is it's this giant thing that everything hinges on, and it's like, but why?
Why? It doesn't make any sense. And I will say, Whedon just took all of that out and just made it like, oh, he's just confused. The thing that I found very interesting is in Snyder's version, when Superman is resurrected, Lois Lane is like, oh, I'm just like walking around. What? Oh, is that him? Oh my God. And then when all of them are battling, she runs up. And she just happens to be there.
And didn't Whedon insinuate that was Batman's plan the whole time?
Not insinuate, like full on. He added a scene. He added a scene where he goes up to Alfred and is like, we need plan B, initiate plan B. And he's just like, I don't know if we should, that seems too dangerous. And they're making it seem like it's like some big gun to like kill Superman. But in the end, they reshoot it. They literally get a body double to show Alfred in the car letting out Lois Lane. Like they could not get Amy Adams. So like rewatching it, it's just like an added in scene where Alfred lets her out. And we're in the Snyder version, she just like runs up. And I was just like, this is kind of some genius shit of like him hodgepodging shit together. But then at the same time, all of the CGI parts in the fight where he had the beard and had to redo it, it's literally, I thought it was like the whole thing, like, oh, it must have been so much. No, it's just to add stupid jokes.
Oh my God.
It's just, they reshot all of this to add stupid jokes. Oh my God, I can't.
I can see this leading to tension. Like, think about, like, you're putting a show up and the whole vibe of the show is one tone. Like you've all agreed that this is this thing that you're playing, that you're creating to this specific tone. Everyone must play to this tone. He will direct through the lens of this tone. And then tragedy happens. You no longer have the guardian of that tone. You have someone else come in and is like, now this is Wheat-Wah movie.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody? We're going to add a punchline to every single thing you've done. I can see a lot of people being like, this fucking sucks. And I can see Whedon shooting this movie as being a real toxic environment.
Yeah. Because I bet you anything, a lot of these people, like, the actors were like, why are we doing this? And Whedon's like, this is my fucking movie now, so shut the fuck up.
Like, could you imagine, like, you're like, okay, we're going to shoot a scene where Ezra Miller lands on top of Wonder Woman and hilarious sexual innuendo ensues. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I will say the joke adding, it works in the in-between scenes. But for the way Snyder shot everything, it does not work in the battle scenes. Like, I will say this, there's the scene that was cut out of where Aquaman's accidentally sitting on the lasso of truth.
The lasso, yeah.
It's a really hilarious scene.
It's a great scene.
Gone. Like, Snyder's like, no! I don't care how good it is. It's Whedon did it. Fuck off.
I just want to take a moment to just hit upon like some of the moments in Snyder's cut that I just cracked up at.
Okay.
A lot of it is the spoon feeding. So there was when we first see Lois Lane, she gives the coffee to the cop at Superman's memorial. There is a close-up that zooms in on her engagement ring for so long. And I'm like, yo, like, when she gave him the coffee, we saw the ring, dude.
Yeah.
Like, give us some credit.
Yeah.
There's that.
I'm
Then
surprised he
there's-
probably wanted to add a glimmer with a ding.
Right. Then there's the dime store Wonder Woman villain who was holding those people hostage. Like, his motivation we're going to bring things back to the way they were. I have no idea.
By blowing up
that
a
even
bank?
means. Right? And are they wiping away people's credit records? Are they on paper in drawers somewhere and he's going to blow them up? But Wonder Woman straight up murders this dude and then turns around to a little girl and is like, you can be whatever you want, child.
I know
like,
that.
What the fuck?
The dialogue. And I will say this, Whedon, problematic, but he knows how to write women. And there's one line change that summed it up of why why Snyder's dialogue is so bad, especially with Wonder Woman. When she's battling Steppenwolf, when they're in the underground area, they go to that like underground cave where it gets flooded and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is the main person battling Steppenwolf, and when they first meet each other, he just goes like, "You are mine," and then she just goes, "I belong to no one." That's the Snyder line. Cut to Whedon, "You are mine," and Wonder Woman just smirks and looks at him and goes, "You've overestimated yourself."
Ooh.
So much better. That's where it's like people that are like Whedon's garbage. That's a way better line. It's a way better line read. Because it's like, yeah, no, I'm a woman. Shut the fuck up, you idiot. Where it's because it's like that feels like that's what a woman superhero would really say. A straight man writing what a feminist would say is, "I belong to no one." You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, fucking stop it.
Can we talk about the hot dogs in the Iris West flash scene?
Oh my God, I've seen so many memes about bisexuality.
But also, like, what a weird visual gag that completely takes you out of that moment. I had a high school theater director who said, don't ever, like, if you're laying down in a scene and your feet are facing the audience, don't ever prop your feet up because feet are funny. I feel the same thing applies to hot dogs.
Yeah.
Like, hot dogs are funny. Don't put them in your scene unless you want laughter.
Yeah, it's weird too because Snyder, it's like that's the thing when Snyder does add humor, you're like, what? Why?
The Bull and the Bear fighting to represent financial markets that Cyborg can control.
That
I was like, okay.
Give me a fucking anything where Cyborg was in that weird Matrix world, like explaining things, was so stupid.
And also, like, his origin is confounding to me. I'm so sorry you were in an accident, son. So what I did to bring you back to life was turn you into a machine that can control any data or computer on Earth. Like, don't you think you overstretched a little bit?
I know,
Pops?
right?
Like, I would have been okay with legs.
I know, right? And I will say, this was Cyborg's had so much more going on in Snyder's, but the whole time I'm like, you know who's a way more interesting character? Cyborg on Doom Patrol. Cyborg on Doom Patrol, he's the one that caused the mother's death. Like, that's much more compelling to me.
Also, like, does anyone keep their eyes on the road in this universe?
Oh my God. We need to end. I want to pass legislation on the side shot of a car hitting.
The side shot while the driver is saying something loving and reassuring to the passenger.
Yeah,
of course.
I'm over it. I remember it happened in like so Alias, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is the most amazing thing!" And then it was like, "Nope." Now it's going to be in every goddamn action movie. I will say though, like Snyder, they changed the coloring where everything's red and bright and primary, and Snyder's is all like more just like cool and cold and moody. And watching them back to back, I kind of, the way I feel that the moody stuff worked. I like the coloring
worked better.
And by the end, the music choices, I will say the whole third act of Snyder's movie is pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
The fight scenes are great.
And
the fight scenes are great, but not. I'm going to compare it to something else in a little bit.
I mean, if we're suddenly comparing it to Endgame or Avengers or even Falcon, like then it's.
I'm comparing it to Falcon. I will say this:
it's not even close.
The opening sequence in Falcon and the Winter Soldier is 20 times better than any action sequence in Justice League.
I will say, but we'll talk about that later. Is like that was actually one of my problems with that episode. But we'll get to it because I know you. I don't want to start fighting you now.
Okay, I'll wait.
But yeah, because in the end of Snyder's version, we get Barry reverses time. He goes so fast and he reverses time because it actually shows you all of them dying, and Darkseid appears. Like Darkseid is the main bad guy in this. And in Whedon's one, it's just Steppenwolf. I will say, which is way less stakes. Like,
yes,
let's have some Darkseid. Hello.
Yeah, I will say overall, Act 3 in the Snyder Cut just felt much more earned than the original, obviously, because there was twice as much movie before it.
Exactly. And that's the thing is I was like, I honestly feel I could take these two movies and retake because
do it.
Honestly, it's like if I could shorten up these intros of all the characters, add in some of the Whedon explanation scenes, put in some of the Whedon Wonder Woman dialogue, and then have Snyder's third act. I saw that originally. I might be like, oh, that was a good movie. Like it's like I feel there's a good movie in there between the two of them, but each of them separately, garbage.
Also, every time an Aqua person needs to have a scene, they first have to create this air bubble. It drives me insane.
Like, who the hell?
The movie would have been 3 hours and 30 minutes if Aqua people didn't have to create that bubble before they started talking.
Like, what kind of society is that? I would be like, get me to fucking land. This is fucking annoying.
All right, let's move on.
Wait. Not yet. We need to talk about the very end.
Oh, yes. Of course we do.
Where at the very end, it just cuts to way in the future.
Which end? Because it ended 18 times.
Yeah. I guess the very last thing we see is it's in the future, and it looks like we don't see Wonder Woman, which I think she just didn't want to shoot it.
Of course.
But it looks like Deathstroke is there,
it's Deathstroke, Cyborg, Mira, Flash,
and then Joker Batman. Is there, and it Joker. Looks like they're in this awful world that's been taken over by Darkseid.
The nightmare sequence,
and and then it looks like Superman is on the bad side. I will say,
drastic.
Jared Leto, like that version of Joker, I was like, this might be the only thing I think I could watch Jared Leto do because I hate him.
Yeah, I hate him too, and
because I think
I just still wasn't impressed.
No, but here's the reason why is because that version of Joker, I think that's just Jared Leto. Because let's be honest, Jared Leto is like a sociopath.
He is. He's the fucking worst. Oh my god, he's like a cult leader.
Like he basically is Jared Leto. Like he is Joker.
Gross. Yeah, he improvised the reach around line, which I was like, of course he did.
Yeah.
So original.
And so, Joker, but that's the weird thing is a whole ending.
Batman off his game with homoeroticism.
A whole ending that shows, Aquaman is dead. The only good movie that I'd want to see a sequel to. Aquaman is dead. Wonder Woman's nowhere. Look at this whole thing I set up. And then they release Snyder's version isn't canon and we're not following up on any of it.
But here's Martian Manhunter.
But here's Martian Man. Oh, that's right. Here's Martian Manhunter and Jared Leto Joker and evil Superman. Why?
Goodbye.
Oh my god!
But like, what canon? There's no canon.
Yeah, I know canon. Are you making
another? In the DCEU.
Are you making another Batman movie?
What canon?
No, you're not. Are you making any? What's the next?
Is Paul Dano canon? Who knows?
I think the only reason they're saying canon is because Snyder's version might fuck with the New Gods movie.
Oh, stop!
And so they're like, no, this has nothing to do with the New Gods movie, which
it's canon.
Canon of what? Yeah, it's DC done fuck themselves over. Stick to Harley Quinn. Stick to Titans.
Put it in a canon and shoot it.
Honestly, they should start making movies from the Titans characters. I would watch those in a heartbeat. Anyway, let's go on to something else. WandaVision is over. I'm devastated. What can fill that hole?
I don't know. How about a TV show about how sad Bucky Barnes is with a hilarious therapist, coupled with a grounded family drama starring Sam Wilson set against the backdrop of being black in America? That can replace WandaVision. Damn it.
And I will say this.
This.
It's great. I want to first say it's amazing. I never doubted for a second that Brett wouldn't jizz all over this. We all know that you would, if it was like, you would push your husband out of a window if it was like you had a chance to even like hang out with Bucky Barnes, with that actor.
Oh my God.
Like, you are obsessed with him, and it's problematic, but I love it.
I'm obsessed with him.
But I will say this. They shot their wad in the very beginning. And I will say it was just so amazing. The first opening fight sequence was so amazing that I just needed another amazing fight scene by the end.
Yeah.
And it just was like, nope, just full on, just like regular setting up pilot things. We're setting up characters, setting up story arcs. Like I needed another big battle scene. It was just like, it just shot my expectations too high. And then I was like, okay. But it's still great. It's great. And the reason I'm complaining is because the beginning was so fucking good.
It was so incredible. The Falcon fight through the air with people wearing like glider suits and
where hostages are in the air being
tied to people in the air while they're gliding. And they're like gliding into other planes. And Falcon is flying around pulling their parachutes.
Yeah.
To get them out of the battle. It's incredible. And it's Baytrock the Leaper from the beginning of Winter Soldier.
Oh, is that the bad guy?
Yeah. The guy that cat fights in the beginning of Winter Soldier. It's that guy.
And the guy who I believe is from the Marvel Universe. The guy driving. Who's like ends up being
Torres.
Torres. He ends up being like a Falcon type superhero, right?
Oh, I don't know. Is he that other Falcon?
I think he's the other Falcon when he becomes Captain America.
They're setting him up for something.
I think when Falcon becomes Captain America, he becomes Falcon. I think.
I would love that.
But can I just say, he is one of the most handsome people I've ever seen.
He really is. Oh my
God.
God.
He's so cute.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that the some of the things.
So that's Joaquin Torres. That's the other Falcon. I did not put that together. I never knew the other Falcon's name.
Well,
oh my God, I thought he was going to be a bad guy. I am so dumb.
Well, there you go.
Oh, I'm so happy.
He's great. I will say that I also the reason I know is because I looked up the name, because we were like, he's either going to die or he's going to be a bad guy. And so then, because it felt like they were setting up something, and then I looked it up and I'm like, oh no, he's just going to be another superhero.
Oh, yay. Oh, I like him.
I mean, unless they're like, fuck that character, we're going to kill him off anyway.
Look what they did with Hellcat on Netflix. You never know. On Jessica Jones, they made Hellcat a villain.
Yeah, true.
Oh my God.
I will say it's part of it is the thing that was how they were actually in the air for a lot of these shots. Like
the stunt work was incredible.
When you look at the credits, it shows the aerial. It was like the aerial stunt team division. Because part of me was like, this could have easily just been like, oh, we're just going to do all of this like on a green screen and just fans. No, they were really doing this shit. I was just real, like
dogfight with people.
Like this thing, like, do you remember? It reminded me of the old like James Bond, one of the earlier James Bond movies where there's a fight in the air.
Yeah,
like that is so hard to do.
But it also is done so well in a way that creates tension and makes you're kind of like clutching your like the arm of your couch going, oh my God, when you're watching this scene, because it's it's tension and there are surprises and there are twists, and you just didn't have that in Justice League.
Yeah.
You didn't have like white knuckle tension in these action scenes.
Yeah.
But you got it here.
And but I will say this is the one thing that Falcon and Winter Soldier have going for them is they have, 100 movies of history where we know these fucking characters inside and out already.
And so when we see Falcon with his sister and nephews, and when we see Bucky hanging out with old men and trying to go on a date,
yeah,
and talking to his hilarious therapist, who's my new favorite character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And here's the thing is you have to also remember both of them were snapped. And I do like that we see in Falcon's world, we see like he's been snapped and they're holding it against him. Like, sorry, the rules are you haven't had a job in 5 years. And he's like, I didn't exist. They won't give him a loan because he didn't exist for 5 years. What the fuck?
That's not why they won't give him a loan, if you catch my drift.
Well, yeah. But for Christ's sakes, like I do like that it's showing like the real world ramifications of what life is like for people that were snapped and now how everything's back. And there's like,
think about it for Bucky.
Yeah.
A man who is already out of time.
How was Bucky put on ice, or has he lived the whole time?
Bucky would be put on ice and then would be thought out when a kill needed to happen.
Oh, okay. So that's why he's so old.
Bucky's lived in moments over the past century.
Right. Okay. Because that's why I couldn't remember why he was.
Does he have a little super soldier in him or no? Like, is his aging slowed down? I wonder. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing is like, is he just going to now start growing old? And I do like seeing. I will say the thing that I like is this is the first time we're actually getting into Bucky. Like, they do this with Captain America, but of course they do with Bucky too, where it's like he's like a older than a boomer. He's not with it. He's not cool.
I love it. He's not with it. And that's why he's hanging out with that old man. And that's why he cannot function on this date.
Yeah. Well, the real reason he's hanging out with the old man is because he feels guilty.
Oh, right.
Because he killed his son.
Yes. And also a peer. Like someone from close to his time.
Yeah.
But yes, guilt. Poor Buck. Oh. But he plays Battleship in a very cute date, little meet cute with the bartender.
Yeah. And he... so we're kind of just setting up that he's just really sad, trying to now figure out his life. Falcon...
His nightmares of his Winter Soldier time.
Yes. Falcon is dealing with his own reality. And it's also this thing of just like, it just seems like the Avengers are just done. And then we did see Don Cheadle's War Machine. Mm-hmm. And is he just going to be, do you think he's going to be just like an antagonist causing problems?
No,
or do you think they're going to be on the same side?
He was definitely trying to encourage Sam to pick up the mantle.
Right.
Their conversation, like you could tell Don Cheadle was terribly disappointed, but was trying to get to the heart of why Sam did that. Because Sam did throw it away. He threw the shield away. Like, he completely quit before he even got started. Yeah. And he knows it. And then at the end, when they bring back a new Captain America, Sam knows. Like, he threw it away. And they did this with it.
Are we talking about this ending?
Wait, hold on. Okay. I want to talk more about Bucky first. Because I talked about his therapist. His therapist has him on a program where he has to make amends. Yeah. And while he's making amends for people he's hurt in the past, or he's dealt with in the past as the Winter Soldier, he has to follow 3 steps. 1 step is he can't do anything illegal. 2 is he cannot hurt anybody. And 3 is he has to say to them, "Hi, my name is James Buchanan Barnes. I used to be the Winter Soldier. I no longer identify that. I'm sorry for everything I put you through. Thank you so much."
Yeah.
It's amazing. And so he kind of sort of does it with this corrupt senator who he put into power. He controls her car with Stark Tech, which is illegal. He then knocks out the guard or the henchman in her passenger seat and almost breaks his hand, which is hurting somebody. But then he delivers his his speech. Thank you so much.
And then has her arrested. And then the cops come and arrest her. Yeah. Oh, I wonder, is that therapist... I wonder if that's an original character, if that person... She was pretty funny.
She was great. She does not suffer his shit. Anytime he doesn't talk, she whips out her notebook and starts writing.
Yeah. But because he's going through that shit and Falcon is going through his shit and won't be Captain America, well, we fucking need a Captain America. And so at the very end, there's a news conference and they introduce Captain America, which I can only see is played by the old man from Up.
You know who that actor is, right?
Who is that?
It's Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's son, Wyatt Russell.
What?
Yeah. Poor Wyatt Russell. People are going to hate him for the next few months.
Oh my God. But why? Why does his face look like he doesn't have teeth?
I think it was just a weird shot.
That
but
shot,
also,
like he looked like he was 180.
Yeah, he just looks bad in that mask.
No, is that is it U.S. agent?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I mean, I assumed.
Yeah, it's John Walker.
Yeah, John Walker shows up. Do you know any? I don't know. I know who U.S. agent is. It was just like, oh, he's the other one with wings on the side of his helmet.
I described him to my friends as Republican Captain America.
Is he a bad guy?
No, U.S. Agent. I grew up with him on West Coast Avengers. I never really thought John Walker was that awful a character. I think things have been done with him lately, and I think he might have had a role like on Norman Osborn's Dark Avengers, or like something kind of made him shitty. We should investigate that.
Yeah, but I think he's clearly going to be a bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to go boys route. This is going
they're going to Hellcat him for sure.
Yeah, but also the boys of where the superhero that everyone loves is really a bad guy in disguise.
Yeah. By the way, I cannot wait for season 3 of The Boys, where the Captain America archetype will be played by Jensen Ackles.
Or the spinoff with the Xavier School from The Boys. They're already casting that.
Oh.
That's going to be fucking amazing.
It's going to be fucking amazing. The one thing they did not really touch upon in Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the relationship between Falcon and the Winter Soldier, other than to say, Bucky, why do you keep ignoring Sam's texts?
Yeah.
Because Bucky's so sad and alone, and Sam is so scared and alone
that all they need each other. They need to take each other in the arms and go into a bed and take their clothes off and take turns flip-fucking each other, because I refuse to believe that either of them is a top or a bottom.
Oh, they're both super. All soups are versatile. They have to be.
But but for me, and I will say the thing though that I'm complaining about, it's the same thing I complained about with WandaVision, the first episode, is I was like, it just ended right as it was getting good. Why'd you end it there? No, I need more. I want a more, and it will give me more. But I guess that's just how these TV shows go. Like it ended, and I was
Marvel
like,
episodic
I need
TV.
More. Oh my God!
Isn't that the goal of episodic TV?
I will say this
exact thing.
Yes,
that it goes for?
But I'm just realizing I'm gonna like this show. But I love WandaVision, and
WandaVision is a whole.
But
other
I
thing.
think I'm gonna love Loki.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing, is I feel Loki will be closer to the weirdness of WandaVision, and I think we need something like Falcon and the Winter Soldier in between. It's like a palate cleanser.
I love the variety.
Yeah, we don't want it all to be like I was watching this one gay guy has a TikTok where he's just like, I started liking Marvel, and so it's like I'm watching this just powerful sorceress with trauma issues, and now 2 weeks later I just have to watch two dudes fighting? No. Like, I get it.
They're husbands. Don't you get it? It's a show about husbands. Get into it.
It's a bromance. It's a bromance.
Oh, I can't wait. They're both so sad.
Oh my God. I used to have, that was like my fetish for a while.
Oh, yeah?
A crying boy.
Ooh.
Like seeing a guy like silent. I remember one time when I lived in Chicago, I went on to the Belmont stop, Red Line, and the hottest guy was just sitting at a bench sobbing.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I just want to go over and lick your tears away.
Did you say that to him?
No. Side note, I did do that once. I did date a guy where we did meet where he was crying at what was the name of that bar? What was the video bar right at Belmont and Halstead? It's not Spin.
Spin, yes.
I met a guy at Spin and he was crying.
Now.
And guess why he was crying? And this is Chuck. His roommate got murdered by her boyfriend 3 days earlier.
Oh my God.
So we'd started dating from that, and we had sex that night with him crying. And I thought it was the hottest thing in the entire world. Turns out someone whose friend just died, maybe not the best time.
Shouldn't.
Maybe not the best time to be dating. And then it turned out that he was really had internalized homophobia. And he then told me I was too queenie. And he literally picked someone else up in front of me on a date and left with that person.
Yeah, he's not okay.
So if you see a boy crying,
don't put that on you.
If you see a boy crying, just let him fucking cry and just walk away.
He's like, why did I kill her? I mean,
I know he killed her. I will say he was a backup dancer for the B-52s.
Oh my God, can I meet him? That's like my dream job.
I know, right? Love Shack, because that's not choreographed. You're just like, woo!
No, you're just doing like the Watusi for 3 hours.
Anyway, we just like went on a side rant. Look, TV is fucking amazing. We have Servant. We just got to watch. I mean, even though we thought it was bad, it was still fun watching all this DC mammoth.
It was still fun. It made for a great Saturday afternoon.
The same way I felt Wonder Woman in 1984. I had fun. It was awful, but I had fun.
Yeah.
But did you have fun with us, viewers, listeners?
Are you having fun right now?
Because we're going to wrap it up.
Everyone, we want you to watch TV. And we want you to read comics. And we want you to watch movies. And we want you to embrace queerdom. Because this show is about these things.
Yeah, we want you to be gay, basically. You know where they're like, oh, gay people are trying to convert? And everyone's like, no, they're not. We are.
We're the gay agenda. Welcome.
We're the gay agenda.
Here's your conversion apple. Bite it. And you will be gay.
Yes, that's right. Because I hate to break it to you. If you read comics, well, then that makes you
queer. Bye.
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 Oh, shit. Darkseid's here. We gotta go.